You know why this message found you. And if you're honest with yourself, you've always known that you were carrying something. Not in the casual way people say they have a purpose. Not in the way someone mentions a dream during a random conversation and forgets about it the next day. No, you felt it in a much deeper way. You felt it in the way it quietly shaped the decisions you made, even when those decisions didn't make sense to anyone else. You felt it in the strange distance you experienced in rooms full of people, rooms where everyone else seemed perfectly comfortable, while you somehow always felt slightly out of place. You felt it during those nights when sleep refused to come. Those long, silent nights where your mind stayed awake with a restless energy you couldn't explain, a quiet knowing you couldn't fully describe, a calling you couldn't ignore, even when ignoring it would have made life far easier. Something inside you has always whispered, you are here for more. And yet, for years, you've been living with a gift that hasn't been fully allowed to emerge. A gift that has been waiting for the right time, waiting for the right version of you, waiting for the moment when both you and the world are finally ready, and carrying something powerful that no one else can see, that can feel heavy. At times, it has felt crushing. There were moments when it made you feel isolated, moments when it left you confused, moments when you questioned whether you were imagining the whole thing. But something is shifting now, because the universe is saying something clearly in this season of your life. Your hidden gift is ready to be revealed. And more importantly, the world is finally ready for it too. Pause for a moment and really think about your life. You've always moved through the world differently than most people. You noticed it long ago. While others were satisfied with surface-level conversations and temporary connections, you were searching for something deeper, something real. While others were building their lives based on what they were supposed to want, you kept listening to a quieter voice inside you, a deeper voice. Even when listening to that voice cost you comfort, even when it cost you relationships, even when it meant walking away from what everyone else called normal. People noticed your difference, and many of them didn't understand it. Maybe you've been called strange. Maybe people said you were too intense, too sensitive, too emotional, too questioning, too much, or sometimes not enough. Maybe someone told you that you think too deeply about things, that you should just relax, stop asking questions, stop trying to see meaning in everything. And every time someone said those things, a small part of you wondered if they were right. You wondered if maybe life would be easier if you just tried harder to be normal. If you could somehow convince yourself to want what everyone else wants, to chase the same goals, to settle for the same definitions of success. But something inside you never allowed that. Something ancient, something steady, something unshakable. Deep down, you knew you weren't built for a normal life. You were built to carry something meaningful, something that could shift people, something that could heal people, something that could wake people up. You were built to be remembered for something that actually matters. And the isolation you felt along the way was never a punishment. It was protection, divine protection. Your gift needed time to grow quietly, time to develop in private, before it could survive the intensity of public attention. The struggles you faced were never random obstacles blocking your purpose. They were preparation. Every difficult season, every heartbreak, every moment of feeling misunderstood was shaping you into someone capable of carrying this gift with depth and integrity. Every time you felt things more deeply than everyone around you, you were developing a level of empathy that will allow you to reach people others cannot reach. Every time you questioned what everyone else blindly accepted, you were sharpening your discernment. You were learning to recognize truth in a world that is drowning in noise. And every time you felt like you didn't fit into spaces where everyone else seemed comfortable, you were being prepared for something extraordinary. You weren't meant to fit into existing spaces. You were meant to create a new one. Your difference has never been a weakness. It has always been your assignment, your divine assignment. And now, right here in this chapter of your life, everything you've been quietly carrying is ready to be seen. Not because you suddenly became perfect, not because you have every answer, not because your past pain disappeared, but because your gift was never waiting for perfection. It was waiting for authenticity. It was waiting for you to trust what you know is true. Even when no one else can see it yet, you're going to be known. But not in the shallow way the world usually defines recognition. Not the kind where visibility matters more than substance. The kind of recognition coming into your life is deeper than that. It's the kind that creates legacy. The kind where what you share continues to ripple through people's lives long after the moment has passed. Because the gift you carry, the one you've questioned, the one you've protected, the one you've sometimes hidden out of fear, is about to find the people who need it most, the people who are searching for the exact frequency you carry, the souls who will recognize you instantly, because something inside them has been waiting for what you bring. They may not have had the words for it, but they've been praying for it, and when that connection happens, you will finally understand why things unfolded the way they did. You'll understand why it couldn't happen earlier, why there were years where you felt invisible, why rejection became part of your story, why misunderstanding followed you for so long, because what you're bringing into the world could never have been created inside a comfortable life. It had to be forged in moments of uncertainty, forged in silence, forged in resilience. The wisdom you carry now isn't theoretical, it's lived, it's earned. It carries the authority of real transformation, and the universe has been preparing the world for you, just as much as it has been preparing you for the world. People have been moving into position, circumstances have been quietly aligning, doors that were once locked are beginning to open, and one day you'll look back and realize something powerful. None of the delays were mistakes, they were precision. You're not late, you're not behind. You are exactly on time for what is meant to unfold next. And the people who are meant to receive your gift, they are already looking for you. They may not know your name yet, but they feel that something they need exists somewhere, something that will speak directly to their soul. And when you finally step forward, they will recognize you. You won't need to force it. You won't need to convince anyone. You won't need to beg for attention or prove your worth. Because real gifts don't need convincing. They resonate naturally. They attract the people who are meant to hear them, exactly when those people need them. And that is why this moment matters. Because there comes a point where hiding no longer feels like protection. It begins to feel like betrayal. A betrayal of the purpose placed inside you. There comes a point where staying small no longer feels like humility. It begins to feel like resistance to what you were created to do. Your visibility is not about ego, it's about service. The world needs what you carry. Not someday, not years from now, but now. In a time when people are overwhelmed, confused, and searching desperately for truth, your voice may be exactly what someone needs to hear to keep going. Your story may give someone else permission to finally stop hiding theirs. And when that happens, you'll realize something important. Being known was never about you. It was always about the lives that would be touched because you chose to step forward. Because what you carry matters. It matters far more than you may realize in this moment, and far more than you've probably allowed yourself to believe. There is something inside you that has been growing quietly for a long time. Something meaningful, something powerful, something that may not always make sense when you try to explain it with logic. And even now, you may only be seeing a small part of it, more than you realize, more than you can fully see right now. Because sometimes the most important parts of who we are remain hidden from our own eyes until the exact moment we are ready to understand them. Your gift wasn't hidden because it was weak. It wasn't hidden because it lacked value. It wasn't hidden because it didn't deserve to be seen. Sacred things are rarely rushed into the spotlight. Sacred things are protected. They are nurtured in silence. They are strengthened in quiet seasons. They are allowed to grow where the noise of the world cannot reach them. And only when the time is right, only when the person carrying that gift has grown strong enough to hold it, do those sacred things begin to reveal themselves. That is how real transformation works. That is how purpose unfolds. And that moment, the moment when what has been quietly forming inside you finally steps into the light, may be closer than you think, closer than your doubts suggest, closer than your fears want you to believe. Maybe that moment is already approaching. Maybe it's already unfolding around you in ways you haven't fully recognized yet. So here's what I want you to do right now. Not later. Not when everything feels perfectly clear. Right now. Before this feeling fades. Before your mind begins to analyze it away. Before your inner critic starts whispering the familiar questions. What if I'm wrong? What if I'm not ready? What if I'm imagining all of this? Before those thoughts appear, pause for a moment. Take a breath. And listen to what your heart already knows. Because deep down, you've felt this truth for a long time. Your heart recognized it long before your mind did. And that is why I want you to do something simple but powerful. Write this in the comments. My hidden gift is ready to be revealed. Don't write it casually. Don't write it like a small wish you're not sure will come true. And don't write it as a hesitant maybe. Write it as a declaration. Write it with intention. Write it as a message to your future self. The version of you who will one day look back at this moment and understand why it mattered. Because this is more than a sentence. It's a commitment, a declaration that this is the moment you stopped hiding parts of yourself. The moment you stopped shrinking to fit into places that were never meant for you. The moment you stopped waiting for someone else to give you permission to be who you already are. It's the moment you decided to trust your calling, even if the path ahead still feels uncertain. It's the moment you chose to begin walking in your purpose. Because when you write those words, something subtle but powerful happens. You're not just speaking to yourself. You're aligning yourself with something bigger. You're joining a quiet movement of people all over the world who are choosing the same thing. People who are done playing small. People who are done hiding their light simply because others might not understand it. People who are ready to step forward and be known for what truly matters. Not for attention, not for validation, but for the difference they are here to make. These are people who understand something important. They understand that the very things that once made them feel different, the traits they were told were too much, the qualities they tried to hide, were never weaknesses. They were strengths waiting to be recognized. They were signals pointing toward a deeper purpose. Your difference was never your limitation. It was your power. It was the very thing that set you apart so you could bring something new into the world. And when you finally embrace that truth, everything begins to change. So write it. Write it boldly. Declare it with the part of you that has always known there was more waiting on the other side of fear. Because one day, maybe months from now, maybe years from now, you might look back at this exact moment and you might realize that something shifted here. You might say to yourself, that was the moment everything began to change. The moment when doubt started losing its grip. The moment when purpose became louder than fear. The moment when you stopped waiting and finally started stepping into the life you were meant to live. Your hidden gift is ready for the world. And somewhere beyond the noise of everyday life, the universe is quietly whispering something simple. It's time. Time for you to trust what you feel. Time for you to stop shrinking. Time for you to allow the world to see what you've been carrying all along. And if this message reached you at exactly the right moment, if something inside you felt a quiet sense of recognition while hearing these words, then there may be more messages waiting for you here. Messages that arrive exactly when they're needed. So if this message resonated with your heart, consider becoming part of this growing community by joining the channel as a member. And don't forget to subscribe, because sometimes the right words don't arrive randomly. Sometimes they find you at the exact moment your soul is ready to hear them. And when that happens, it's rarely a coincidence.